Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Tuesday evening. As usual, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, sports, and so much more. My name is Glenora Shipura. Starting us off in the news tonight, a Guardian's attempt to register a high-performing school leaver at the Namibia University of Science and Technology this week ended in frustration after being told that a $4,500 Namibian registration fee was required, despite government assurances that tertiary education would be free for first-time students. Now, according to The Guardian, the learner is enrolling for their first qualification straight from the Namibia Senior Secondary Certificate Advanced Subsidiary level and had been sent from the north under the understanding, that higher education would be fully subsidized. Dili Meke Jeremiah said the situation became deeply uncomfortable when they had to phone the parents to explain the unexpected cost. Now, amid growing confusion around access to tertiary education, the University of Namibia has reiterated its admission criteria under the NSSC system. Public Relations Manager Simon Namesho said admission requires a combination of ordinary and advanced subsidiary subjects. Admission under the NSSC system requires an applicant to have at least 2 NSSC advanced subsidiary subjects at an average D grade or better, as well as 3 NSSC ordinary subjects at grade C or higher, with English at grade C or higher. Namesho told NMH earlier this week. Using the minimum grades, Namesho said this combination yields 27 points. Under the second combination, an applicant must have 3 NSSC advanced subsidiary subjects at an average D grade or higher and 2 NSSC ordinary subjects at grade D or better, again with English at a minimum of C included among the ordinary level subjects. At the minimum grades, this combination produces a total of 26 points, he said. Now, responding to concerns, Namibia University of Science and Technology's Public Relations Officer for Corporate Engagement and Internalization, Cindy van Wyk, said the university had adjusted its registration systems following revised eligibility criteria announced by the ministry last Friday. She added that eligible students who have already paid will be reimbursed. Van Wyk cautioned that the model does not apply retrospectively. Students who have failed their previous academic year, as well as those with outstanding financial obligations to the university, are required to settle the applicable fees to register. In another story, former Namibian refugees who were repatriated in 1989 have refused to vacate the SWAPO Party national headquarters, where they have been camping since October 2025, citing a lack of transparency regarding funds meant for their integration. The group, which includes exile-born children, was issued a letter by SWAPO on Monday instructing them to leave by 10 a.m. today. However, they have maintained that they will remain at the premises until their concerns are formally addressed and a response is received from the United Nations headquarters in Geneva concerning the assistance provided at the time of repatriation. Network Media Hub spoke to Matthews Nangolo, the chairperson of the Repatriated Refugees Association, who explained that the group walked out of a meeting at the Ministry of International Relations and Trade after officials requested the media be excluded from further discussions. Nangolo described the situation as unfair, saying that key questions about budget allocations for rehabilitation and resettlement remained unanswered. SWAPO Secretary General Sophia Shaningwa stated that a review of the party's records, including archives from previous leadership, showed no evidence that funds meant for the retainees were received, withheld, or mismanaged. She added that the UN's presence at the meeting was intended to ensure transparency and fairness, particularly regarding allegations of mishandled donor funds during the repatriation process.
Refugees
Now we
removed.
received that letter.
Okay.
That letter is just writing that we can locate the place today by 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Then we wrote a letter on Monday handing to the Chief Inspector General that we cannot move in this place because we are only moving, leave this place when we receive our progress. Yeah.
Okay.
That place is not belong to the swap even. It's a municipality area where we are staying.
Okay, so as chairperson, so it's there to confirm that the former refugees won't vacate the area.
Yeah, we also call all the refugees to come here in Vinto. All the region must come here in Vinto. Then we can stay there in the swap head office until our meet can meet.
So you are not vacating?
No, we are not going to vacate from today on. We are going to stay. They must bring that copy. They must bring that copy so that we can leave that place. Well, they are hiding the letter. And we are coming here, I come correct the letter. And then they are writing for our thing that does not value, does not have any sense. We are thanks to the media. Answer from the United Nations itself. How much money was for the rehabilitation and the resettlement?
It's not available here.
Yeah.
These people fail to avail that letter. That letter is the bond of contention, and that is the only letter we came to collect here as per the information given to us. And we came to machines here.
Necessary reassurance that this matter will be addressed and the safety of the UN staff guaranteed. On 14 June 2022, the returnees presented themselves to Mirko and were received by Ambassador Shanika, and following the meeting, the attached correspondence was sent to the UNRCO for action from Mirko. Additionally, on the 14th June 2022, the returnees again presented a letter to the UNRCO demanding an audience, failing which they would hold a peaceful demonstration. The demonstration was scheduled for 30 June 2022 and subsequently cancelled. In a letter, the returnees further warned the UN against referring the matter to the government or Mirko, alleging that the letter had no role to play with respect to their return conditions in 1989. The returnees' claim over time have varied but remained centered around concerns over the limited return assistance according to them by the UN and the need to have a...
That footage was from earlier today. Moving on, Namibia Desert Diamonds key accounts manager Andreas Asep resigned in November 2025 as a disciplinary hearing loomed over allegations that he held undisclosed interests in diamond companies operating in direct competition with his employer. Now, documents seen by Network Media Hub show that Asep failed to fully disclose his interest in diamond-related entities following an internal investigation that ultimately culminated in his resignation. In an internal submission dated the 18th of November 2025, Namdia detailed findings that Asep held directorship and membership interests in Global Diamond Valuation and Evergreen Diamonds, companies involved in diamond trading and related activities, placing them in direct competition with Namdia. The matter resurfaced after the board revisited a May 2021 resolution instructing Asep to eliminate all conflicts of interest, including relinquishing diamond-related licenses or severing private business interests. A follow-up investigation was ordered in September 2025 to verify compliance with that directive. Now, according to Namdia's assessment, while Asep relinquished diamond cutters and dealers' licenses linked to Evergreen Diamonds in May 2021, he failed to fully disclose his shareholding and directorship interests. The company concluded that this constituted a misconduct and a breach of company policy and his employment contract, although it did not amount to a material or serious offense under NAMDIA's disciplinary framework. In his resignation letter dated the 5th of November 2025, ASAP informed the acting CEO, Leli Usiku, that he was exercising a contractual provision for early retirement. He stated that his decision was taken in accordance with his employment contract and reiterated that he had complied with the 2021 board directive by surrendering the relevant licenses. The inquiry was informed by a detailed legal opinion issued by Shikongo Law Chambers on the 28th of October 2025, which found that NAMDIA was justified in instituting disciplinary proceedings against ASAP. The legal opinion identified a pattern of non-compliance with governance requirements, including ASAP's failure to provide written proof that he had relinquished mining-related licenses as required by the May 2021 board resolution. That proof was only submitted in October 2025, nearly 4 years after the stipulated deadline. The law firm further concluded that ASAP acted in bad faith by failing to fully disclose his business interests upon employment and by neglecting to declare ongoing conflicts annually or when circumstances changed. Getting into our next story, a legal aid dispute has emerged as a central issue in the ongoing Fish Road corruption trial, with defense lawyers arguing that their clients are being disadvantaged by the state's unequal allocation of resources. On the 13th of January 2026, law firm Joaz Namwieta, representing O'Neill Shidufonia and 3 other accused, wrote to the executive director of the Ministry of Justice requesting special legal aid tariffs for the Fish Road case. The letter pointed out that the current remuneration under the 2019 legal aid tariffs, $5,000 for a first full day, $2,500 for subsequent days, and $300 per hour for postponements, is grossly inadequate for a case involving more than 300 state witnesses. The letter further noted that several lawyers had withdrawn from the case after legal aid refused to negotiate higher rates. The firm cited the precedent of the Caprivi treason trial, where lawyers were granted a special monthly retainer of $80,000, as well as adjustments for other high-profile cases. The letter also referenced reports that prosecutors in the Fish Road case, including advocates Marondets and Lut Bessie, had their annual salaries increased from $850,000 to $1.5 million, highlighting a disparity of roughly $54,000 per month that was not extended to defense lawyers. Joaz Namwieta argued that this unequal remuneration undermines the accused's right to competent legal representation, which is crucial given that some defendants are in custody, limiting consultation time. The letter requested that legal aid consider special tariffs for defense counsel in Fish Road to ensure fairness and uphold constitutional rights to a fair trial. It warned that absent a response by the 19th of January 2026, the firm would consider asking the court to subpoena the executive director to explain the discrepancy. In response, Executive Director Dr. Adrian Mathers stated on the 15th of January that the request for special rates was surprising and declined, citing budgetary constraints. Dr. Mathe emphasized that the terms of engagement for other lawyers referenced in the letter were not comparable, and that legal aid's primary commitment remained ensuring that Mr. Shidofonia received representation under the standard tariffs. On the other side of this, we get into our story of the day.
Ready to be entertained? We've got you. GoTV's got more shows just for you.
That's right.
More movies?
Yes. Jackpot.
More kids shows? Of course! And more football than anywhere else.
No doubt about it.
Yes, we've got more, and we've got you. Pay for your current GoTV package and we'll upgrade you to the next highest package. Get more with GoTV, at home or on the go with GoTV Stream. GoTV.
Now, President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah on Monday visited the SSN project in the Okongo constituency of the Ohangwena region, where she engaged with members of the SAN community and assessed progress made in improving livelihoods and access to basic services. Now, the project currently benefits 29 households, each allocated land to cultivate crops, including mahangu, maize, sorghum, melons and groundnuts, with the aim of promoting food self-sufficiency and reducing vulnerability among the SAN community. The initiative also includes a kindergarten which is currently serving 16 children. During the visit, Nandi-Ndaitwah reaffirmed the government's commitment to inclusive education, emphasizing the importance of ensuring that children from SAN communities have access to early childhood development programs as a foundation for long-term educational outcomes. Center Supervisor Jason Haikondo briefed her on the operations of the kindergarten, noting that while the facility is connected to electricity, there is a need for expansion to accommodate more learners through the construction of additional classrooms. Community members further raised concerns about housing and sanitation, requesting extensions to their existing two-bedroom houses to cater for growing families, as well as the construction of pit latrines to improve hygiene and living conditions. After the break, we will be getting into our economic news. Starting us off in our economic news, a delegation from northern Namibia, led by Ohangwena Regional Governor Kadiva Hamutuma, on Monday visited Bimbi Farm in Angola's Kunene province to assess food production levels and explore cross-border cooperation aimed at strengthening food security. Now, the high-level delegation included governors from the Oshana, Omusati and Kunene regions. The visit took place in the Ombanja municipality, where the leaders engaged with Angolan counterparts to identify areas of collaboration between the governments of Kunene and Huila provinces and northern Namibia. Speaking during the visit, Hamutuma said the engagement focused on the exchange of knowledge and experience in the specialized production of maize and wheat seeds, with the aim of improving crop quality and boosting yields. She added that the initiative also seeks to support family subsistence farming, particularly through Angola's Jardim da Yoba project. Bimbi's farm is a 110-hectare seed multiplication unit that has been operating in the Kunene for the past 3 years. The farm specializes in the production of maize and wheat seeds, which are supplied to Angola's Ministry of Agriculture, the Institute for Agrarian Development and local farmers. Hamutuma said the visit underscores growing regional cooperation in agriculture as northern Namibian regions look to lean from successful production models in Angola to enhance food security and resilience among rural farming communities. Let's take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 21.99, against the euro at 19.08, against the US dollar at 16.38, to Namibian dollars and 35 cents gets you one Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, gold, platinum and Brent crude oil went up while copper went down. Brent crude oil trading at 0.63%, going for $64 and 68 cents per barrel. Getting into our international news, a tragic road crash south of Johannesburg has claimed the lives of 13 school children. Police say a minibus transporting pupils to school collided with a truck near the industry city of Vanderbijlpark, about 60 kilometers from Johannesburg. Investigators believe the driver lost control while attempting to overtake another vehicle. The death toll rose after one critically injured child later died in hospital. Several other pupils remain seriously hurt. Now, authorities say the victims included both primary and high school learners, some as young as 6 years old. Images from the scene showed the minibus crashed on the roadside as distraught parents gathered behind police tape. Some collapsed in grief when they were allowed to identify the bodies. Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi described the scene as devastating. President Cyril Ramaphosa has called for stronger enforcement of road safety laws and improved oversight of school transport services to better protect learners. The crash once again highlights South Africa's road safety crisis. Despite a modern road network, speeding, reckless driving, and poorly maintained vehicles remain common. Getting into our next story, Nigerian police have rejected reports that worshippers were abducted from churches in Kaduna State on Sunday, insisting that no such attack took place. In a statement issued on Monday with local government officials, Kaduna's police commissioner Alhaj Muhammad Rabiu described the reports as false, and accused unnamed actors of spreading misinformation to incite unrest. Now, the denial followed earlier claims from a local official in Kerben Wali, who told the BBC that gunmen had kidnapped dozens of people attending church services. Police say no evidence has been found to support these claims. The commissioner challenged those making the allegations to provide the names and details of any alleged victims. Security forces were dispatched to Kerben Wali after the reports surfaced, according to the chairman of Kajuru local government area, Dauda Madaki. He said officials spoke with community leaders and residents and found no signs of an attack. Kaduna's Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs also said religious leaders who visited the area concluded that the information circulating publicly was inaccurate. That concludes our international news. We now take a quick look at what's happening with the weather forecast for tomorrow. The capital city can expect a minimum of 21 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius, while Katima Mulilo can expect a minimum of 18 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius with some showers. Hendy's Bay can expect a minimum of 18 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy conditions, while Oranjemund can expect sunny weather conditions with a minimum of 16 and a maximum of 27 degrees Celsius. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in and catching up on the latest news with Sunset News. From me, Glenora Shipura, until next time.